Okay, let's smile. Okay, I sit here today, my friend Anthony Pecorelli, my good friend Mike Spindler, and his. I'm here with my friend Tony Peck, legally known as Anthony Pecorelli, and my good friend Mike Spindler. We're bringing you the first episode of the rebranded Closer Conversations podcast.
The second episode, but
yeah, but it's like the first real episode,
right.
You know?
What would you define as real, by the way?
Tony Peck being here.
Yeah, he's a pretty big get, right? You think he's gonna get viewers for us?
I hope so.
By the way, we don't have a mic for this guy. So
we also don't have a glass for him. So me and Mike are gonna cheers, and he'll give us a baby cheers, I guess, if you want.
Salute.
Behind him. So if you're watching at home right now, you'll probably see that we all look pretty cramped on this couch. It's true. We are. But we thought that it would make for more engaging content if we had you here. And since you're the godfather of social media, do you think that this will create more engaging content?
The people are going to tell us. We're going to find out together, my friend.
But what do you think?
I think so.
You think so?
I think so. We're a little crazy. We got 700 pounds on a 300-pound capacity cap.
Now, do you think...
Yeah, we do have 700 pounds.
So
Give him a mic, give him a mic.
If Austin stood up right now, would we go down this way?
for every possibility, we're going down. Someone moves. No sudden movements. Why are we
We all
right down tense?
We all got to stand up together, basically. Like.
At the same time. So, Mr. Pecorelli, the reason we brought you here today is we wanted to interview you, but the thing was we didn't do any homework on you, and we don't know anything about you or what to ask. So, if you would give the viewers at home a little bit about you, it'd be great.
I think you know good about me, but for the people that don't know, I'm Tony Peck, the Godfather of Instagram, co-founder of Why Not You Media, Forbes accredited digital marketing agency. We help different businesses and brands maximize social media to generate more business. I'm a guy from the Bronx, obviously Italian, and a big cigar smoker. So I think that's me in a nutshell. But I'm gonna let you control the conversation, Mr. Interviewer.
Thank you, Mr.
I
Pecorelli.
feel like that's where we messed up.
What do you think?
How did we not have cigars today?
That would have been
That would have been nice.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Are you
Well,
smoking here?
I didn't see it in my lease.
There's no smoke detectors.
I think there was.
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah.
For those at home, I hope my iPhone 11 gives really sharp video camera and they can see this badass Why Not You Media ring that I'm wearing. It was a gift from my friend Tony Peck, who sits to my left. And yeah, what do you guys want to talk about?
I feel like we should discuss the next networking event, no?
You want to do this with Tony Peck here?
So I think we discussed my next cigar.
Yes,
that
networking
seems
dinner.
But this is about our guest, Mike, not about us.
No, you're right. I'm selfish.
Mike wouldn't know. Mike doesn't come to my networking events.
Mike's
But I
not-
hope the viewers at home do show up.
I've been carrying the weight of Connect CTMY at other events for years now. The only reason people know who our events are, they're not in our general network already, is because I meet them at events. And then they meet Mike and they're like, who is this guy? And I'm like, yeah, I have a partner. It's crazy because he's like anti-networking, but like we do networking together. But yeah, Tony, tell us about your event that Mike won't be at, but I'll be at.
So I got my next cigar networking dinner on October 17th at 25 North in Mamaroneck. Expecting about 200 business owners and entrepreneurs to come out and network with. It's going to be great food, great time, cigars if you're into that. If not, it's an outside patio, so it's not going to be too much smoke anyway. And it's going to be a mixture of guys and gals. So come on out, have a good time, and hope to see you guys there. But most importantly, hoping to see Mike there.
I'll be there.
I would love to see Mike there. It'd just be nicer him to carry the weight of this for a bit.
No, you're just looking for a ride home. That's what it is.
I'm going to make sure our camera's still
Oh,
recording.
whoa, you cannot get off. Got a heads up to the other party.
Oh yeah, it's good. We're still
All right,
recording.
finally. Thank
Now
God.
the people at home are going to see my frame on camera. How you
You get
doing?
to see that nice shirt you're wearing.
You like
I
the
like
shirt?
the matching socks. And
Dude, the socks.
Matching socks.
I was at the gym today and I left and I was like, sheesh, I hope that some women as I'm leaving see my socks and shirt combination because I felt like it was pretty sharp. They didn't see it though.
Did you work out in the same outfit?
I showered.
We're pretty close right now. Not for nothing. Like,
Yeah, I agree. I showered at the gym and then I came here. What do you guys want about that? So Tony, let me ask you a question. In this landscape of social media right now, what platform do you think is the most effective, and what do you think the biggest changes have been this year since January that are things that for people at home they should be aware of? I'm going to hand you the mic for this one because I don't want to hold it. My arm's hurting.
Well, I know I'm going to need a massage after this. My neck's going to be cramping. My shoulder's going to be
I got you,
hurting. I have a tennis elbow. But to your question, I think the most important platform to be on, if you're in business, you're an entrepreneur, and you have a service or a product to sell. Again, my answer would change depending on the industry and the product, but generality here, I'm going to say Instagram is still king from a consumer standpoint. They're making the decisions to actually purchase things from there. So I think if you build a brand there, a community, you're going to gain trust, leads, sales, and obviously people to do business with in any way, shape, or form, whether that's recruiting or not. But the landscape has changed significantly, as we all know. None of us on the platforms. We're at the mercy of these platforms.
Right.
And they change so quickly. And you have to adapt to it because you have to lean into the things that they're telling you that are going to benefit you on these platforms. I think one of the major things with Instagram, to me, it's tough to remember what happened in this year, separate from like last year and everything in between.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say one of the big things I'm liking right now is the use of the channels on Instagram.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us a little bit? Give me this. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing with channels right now on Instagram? I'm glad you brought it up. Have you even talked about this publicly yet on a platform?
No, this is the first time.
Mike, you heard it here first, baby.
Let's do
Look
it.
at this. Breaking news on the Connect CTMY Closer Conversations podcast.
We need like a little bell or
I was
something.
going to say, you need a little, the
Bang,
breaking
bang, bang! Is that what you wanted?
I like that. There we go. We'll roll with it. We need a gong in here for every
Yeah.
For every sale I make,
Cool.
Yeah.
my neighbors would love that. Yo, let me see. I don't have a phone on me. I've been ordering shit on Amazon just like at the whim, at whims recently. So if I had a phone, I would have ordered it on Amazon already.
It's an addiction. I like it.
Dude, I love it.
It's a good addiction.
Those are all my returns over there.
I don't see any.
There's not one thing up there.
No, there's 6 things on that windowsill.
Is that acid? What are you doing here?
Oh, it was attaching this wall.
I see a pink tray.
Yeah.
Returning that?
Yeah. You're right, it was $3. What am I returning it for? But you're right, like, but in all seriousness, I am going to return it. I don't know why that thought has not crossed my mind until right now.
Oh my God.
We ended up not using that adhesive, that's why.
Oh, okay. There's full.
So like the paint can is empty, and the tray is empty too. Okay, why don't you tell us about your channels?
Let's hear about some channels.
So the cool thing with the new feature on Instagram is this channel where you can post stuff in there, but nobody else could write in it.
Okay.
But they can engage. So what I was doing prior, I'm the guy that knows about all the different
Knows
networking
everything.
events. I go to every event. I'm out 5-6 nights a week. Everyone asks me, Tony, where are you going? What events do you know about? So I put together a few group texts, and in these group texts, I post all the events I'm going to. Lo and behold, pretty much no one shows up except for Austin and Joe the lawyer.
How you doing, Joe? He's
And
not gonna watch this.
He's not gonna watch
He
this.
doesn't reply to text.
Is anybody gonna watch this?
I hope so.
Who cares?
Hi mom, hi dad. So yeah, I put these together as group text, and what ended up happening was people would start conversing in group text, which would bury the events that I'm trying to give people the information.
Right.
So
I was
when
the
they go to
problem.
text, you were a massive problem.
I was the problem.
You are.
I would roast you every time you said something. I'd be like, I'll be there, Tony!
And then he
I
buries
would
it
send,
like,
like,
guys, you don't
gifts
check
and
the text
shit.
till the next
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
So the ability with Instagram now on the channels is I can post at all the events, and you motherfuckers cannot write anything back to me except for like it, unless
There's so
I
many
give you
times
the
I want
ability to
to.
do
So
so.
is it like almost like X, almost like Twitter in a way, or?
No, it's
Does anyone have a
private-
phone on them that you could show the viewers at home?
I could. I'll have to go up to the. I'm gonna go. Let me go show them right now.
While you're doing that, I just want to keep making sure we're recording every few minutes. Can you check while you're going?
I will.
Can you make sure it's still live?
It is. So
Okay.
this is the channel.
You don't
I
have a
call it the
microphone
circle.
with you. You don't have a microphone with you.
No. So just so you guys can see here, this is the channel. I called it the circle, and you can see these are all different events that I'm posting about. But no one else could write anything else in here. All they can do is actually like the post and let me know if they're actually going to be in attendance. Now I do have the feature to add people if I wanted them to speak. However, I think this makes it a lot easier for the viewer to just come here, check out what events are going on in the next week or so, and be able to see where they want to go.
See, I was thinking that with the Connect CTMY events, would you give me access to be a speaker on the page?
I'm going to charge you, but yes.
Okay, so I'll be able to just tell people, you
Well, use all
know.
meatballs. I'll post it in there for you.
Okay, that sounds good.
I do for people I'm not even friends with, so of course I'll do for you, but.
I know.
But no, it's a really powerful
So,
tool.
so I'm curious, like, how would you, like, from a business owner standpoint, how would you utilize that page?
Great question. So me, I'm obviously using it for the event basis, but what you could do is, I know a few people in different industries that use it as like a market update hub. So it's your way of generating people that could be warm leads, that just getting more knowledge and information from you, seeing
Yeah,
more as an expert
yeah.
in your industry, and then from there taking them offline.
Well, can I say something? I think it's also, Tony, I don't know if you've seen, I've been aware of this feature because you're kind of the poster, not the postee, or the one seeing the post. You know, I'm able to see who's likes your events, and it kind of gives you a general feel of who might be going to the event. And like in my industry, I'm real estate centric, right? So like I'm constantly looking to work with new mortgage brokers and realtors, and like if I see that there's a hot source that I want to do business with that's liking your events, you know, it doesn't confirm that they're going to the event, but it kind of gives me an insight to if they're going to be there or not. And I think that that's something that's cool too, because you can kind of take that and say, you know, that's how you kind of make that cold lead into somewhat warmer. Hey, I'm in Tony's circle page. Did you even tell them what it was called so far?
I sent the circle. Yeah,
Okay, into Tony's circle, and you'll get an idea of what's going on. I do have to tell you, and I'm curious of your thoughts on this. I think that in business, there's what's called like a networking season, right? Like, and you'll be able to kind of piggyback on this, but during the summer, I don't network at all, really. And maybe it's because I'm playing a lot of golf and I'm not as focused on what's going on in business, but it's like whenever we hit September, I'm like, okay, networking, 5 days a week on my calendar. Every day this week I have something going on because it's like I flipped that switch. Do you think that most people think like that, or are there people out there, and I'm not necessarily saying the people that are newer in the business, do you think that people who have been in the business for a long time have somewhat of what's called like a networking season where they are making sure they're going out, meeting new people every day and doing what they have to do?
I don't really think so. I think if you're doing it that route, you're not like a real networker. Like me, there's no season for me.
Yeah, you did a couple
365.
events in the summer,
Oh,
right?
yeah, I'll do.
I went to all
year
of them,
round.
too. Right.
Of course, yeah. But like me, there's no season for me, right? It's always constant events, and that's why
Right.
people come to me to find all these events. But I think to your point, with I do think there are a lot of people. Typically, it ends up being people that are older, married with kids. They play in seasons based around that. So they have vacation times during the
Austin,
summer.
I don't remember
typically.
Austin being married.
I don't think so either. He like,
Or
like,
No, I'm married to the game, baby. Married to the game of golf.
But a lot of these people that go away during the summertime,
Right.
during the holiday season, it's holiday time, so they might not be going to as many events.
Mm-hmm.
So they really play into the school season and what they got going on with their lives. So you can kind of get a good gauge based on the industry you're in. If it's like an older demographic, you're going to have those seasonalities
Right.
in general. But there's still plenty of events to go to, and most of the time you might end up meeting newer people that aren't going to events that they would otherwise go to when it's as busy.
Right, you get like almost like a different batch of people.
Correct.
Because the normal
Yeah,
people
I have a follow-up to
aren't
that,
normally
too.
there.
I think another follow-up to that though is that I guess that I sort of did do networking during the summer,
Yeah.
but like that didn't feel like full networking for me because I think where you and I hit it off the most, Tony, is that you and I are networkaholics.
Correct.
Right? Like you blow me out of the water. There's no doubt. But like I did go to networking events throughout the summer, but it was
Correct.
nowhere near
That's
what I
me.
do during the winter.
Correct, yes.
You know, during the winter I'm literally out 5 to 6 days a week and I'm meeting new people and I'm shaking those hands. But during the summer I'm maybe doing one a week, which is it just feels like it's nothing.
It feels like you're not doing much. Yeah.
Now, let me ask you another question about networking, because I think that it's slowly becoming your gig.
I think so too.
It's slowly becoming your gig, which is networking. Do you think, and it's there's a follow-up to this after you answer, how important is it to network even when you've reached the level of success that you want to be at? You had to your mic for this one, thanks.
I think that's a really good question. I don't think anyone's ever asked me that.
Well, it's something that I'm kind of faced with right now.
So, you know, you go to I also do a monthly private cigar dinner with just high net worth guys that I'm around. And these guys are super, super successful. Like the room sometimes has, you know, the net worth is $500 million to $1 billion, and it's only like 20, 25 people. They're still going. And the reason they're going is, it's not necessarily always about them going there to get the next big deal. They might have already made it in life, but one, they may have an opportunity to get a deal from a quality person. And two, they like going out to have a good time, and it's almost like a de-stressor to them. Where if you listen to a lot of these conversations, it's not really always about business. It's just about personal things that they're actually forming relationships with, and business just flows from that.
Right.
And if they just adds one extra person in a network that's a quality service provider for someone that they already know, that's value enough for them, even if they don't make $1 off of it.
Well,
So they operate on a different level, I would say.
there's a few things to unpack in what you just said, and I think one of the biggest ones is that they go to almost de-stress, right? That's what you said, right?
Yep.
I think that when I first got into the business, and here's where, if I were you, I think that, like I said, this is becoming your real thing. You are the networker, right? I think that one of the biggest things that have changed for me in my life is that when I got in this business, I was this buttoned up kid who was green as fuck getting into the business, who was wearing a suit everywhere I went, and was always looking to close a deal as opposed to getting to know someone. And I think that when I flipped the switch and I realized that, like, you know, yes, things changed for me, but I think it's because I realized that I had reached the level of success that I was good with being at, and I knew that I could maintain that. So I stopped caring as much as to what people thought about me and whether those deals would come in or not, because I trusted that who I was in this industry and in life would be good enough for people to want to do business with me. And when I realized that it wasn't about business at these events, that's what changed my life, and I think that's how we started connecting TM1.
That's when business came.
Yeah.
Business comes when you're not looking for business.
And I'm curious on, like, especially at all the networking events that you go to, like, what's your follow-up strategy when you meet somebody?
That's a great question.
You know, at a networking event, like, let's say a realtor, or anybody in business.
So, all right, so a few things I want to unpack there because you've given me a lot to work with, which I appreciate. I never
Let's
got
just
to
keep
go this-
bombarding him with shit.
I never got to go this deep with the network.
You can write down
appreciate
any
this.
questions.
No, this is great.
This is, I'm going out this suburban.
So one of the things
Maker's Mark, right, Mike?
Woodford Reserve actually, but
That was the
Fuck it
joke.
up,
That was the
oh,
joke.
okay, never mind. So, you know, a lot of people, they go to networking events, they think they have to go there to meet a tremendous amount of people.
Right.
I think that's a completely wrong way to look at it.
Quality over quantity.
If you
100%.
go out and just meet one person, a new person, you had a successful networking
Yeah.
event. And a lot of people don't think that way. But again, if you're out like me, I'm out 5-6 nights a week. 5-6 new people a week compounds over the span of a year,
Yeah.
2 years, 3 years. Now, second to that point, aside from just meeting someone new, and I'll get into the follow-up part, I didn't forget about it, but separate to that, about meeting someone new, it's an opportunity to get deeper with other people you already know.
Yeah.
And showing face
Oh, I agree
is
with
pivotal to tie with the online. As you see, people that follow you online, they might not always have a chance to meet you offline.
Yeah.
Oh, then they come up to you and they're like, wow, you're Austin Insurance. I follow you on Instagram.
Correct.
And that's
There's a
crazy
great that
shit,
level
you know?
of report. Some great. That's
Like
like
a B-level celebrity. Yeah,
Correct. It's a
B-level
B-level's big. That's a big jump right there.
These are big. These are big.
So that's another thing too. It's just not always about meeting new people. Again, if you meet a few, great. If you meet one, fantastic. And if you meet no one new, but you went and deepened existing relationships, that has value in and of itself. And you're showing face.
Yep.
And again, I'm a big proponent of always wearing your brand. So if you're out there, you may meet no one new, but they're just seeing that logo, you know, once every other week.
It's like
Who is this guy?
Yeah.
I trust him by now. I see him now. He looks like he knows people that I know. And there's gonna be a level of rapport. Now, in the following up portion, sorry, I don't think
No, yeah, I got
He's
some
just
hot.
he's jumping the gun.
I know.
I love this shit.
This is
though,
great.
you know?
I know. So, with the following up, I do it in a unique way. And it doesn't probably not sound as traditional as normal, but what I will do is I will follow them on social media and I don't want to say stalk, but I pretty much fucking watch them for like 2-3 days.
Right.
Then I make my follow up attempt. Hey, Grace, you at the event the other day.
Yeah.
I won't jump in right away. I'll wait 2-3 days because most people, if they are following up, they are following up the next day. So you're going to get rewarded.
It's a little aggressive.
So a little aggressive, and I will follow up on Mondays or Fridays. So I got to be cognizant of the time of the week too, because a lot of people are catching up on Mondays from the weekend, or Fridays they're checked out for the weekend. They're trying to get as much done as they can. So my follow up day is only Tuesday through Thursday, and I will try to say something based on what I've been seeing them
Do
do
you
on social
time
media.
block that? Like, do you time block like 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. like Tuesday through Thursday of when you're following up?
Yeah,
With
we gotta
Sometimes,
get Mike.
no.
We gotta get Mike and Mike.
Sometimes not always.
Or should I just get closer?
I don't think
I actually had an idea for a third mic. Side note. What I was thinking is I could have connected my AirPods, and then we would have had a mic on the AirPod, and you guys would have had mics. But I don't think it would have worked because these are Bluetooth.
into that. Yeah, you wouldn't be.
I don't think you can connect two Bluetooth sources at once.
No.
And you know, I hate to tell you guys this at home. This isn't gonna get better. Like this is gonna be the
No, there's no video production.
But you know, this is a great fucking point to the audience. And I have a social media marketing business, right? We create
Oh, you
content.
do?
We create content.
What's it called?
Why not you, baby?
Oh.
So, but the point here at home is you don't need production to put out content on social media.
100%.
The platform is free. You have an iPhone. You can get a ring light. You can get these $20 mics on
Oh, I
Amazon.
forgot to turn the ring light on.
It's not even on. So you're not even using all the
Yeah.
parts that it has. It's turning the light on right now as we speak here. But you guys don't need all this production.
Oh,
Just
my
get-
goodness.
Did it stop?
No, I didn't turn the ring light on. I can't believe it.
Now all of a sudden we look way better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we're
different.
different.
It looks the same.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's fine.
That's fine.
I'm yelling into the mic. Anyways, I like this conversation. Tony, I have a follow-up for you though. I know about your marketing, and actually I was about to take it to the marketing company because one of my things is, right, you said that when you're at these brands, you're always branding, right? Mike and I have been speaking about this, and similarly to what you've been saying, is it's just about getting, and I know your partner Francis a lot, just get your content out there and get your brand out there. Two things to that. When I first started Safe Shield Insurance, I like rebranded my entire wardrobe, as you've seen, with blue and yellow throughout, because that's me, that's my brand.
Yep.
When I'm at a networking event, you always see me in blue and yellow, whereas the same on social media. You will constantly see my content, and there will always be a theme of commonality between me at a networking event and me on social media. It's the blue and yellow, it's me, I'm living my brand because that's who people like to work with, because the basis of sales is doing business with people who you know, like, and trust. And if I can do the know portion without actually knowing you, looks like I did.
Correct.
Right? And then you build yourself as a trustable figure on social media here. And I think even to a degree, the way that we're going about this podcast, listen, I'm a very competent person, as is Mike. If we really wanted to do this correctly, we could.
I think you just hire one on your media.
But in all seriousness, I think that there's a degree of just pumping the content out, having this stuff ready to go at all times, no production value. And it's just that living that brand, being who you are is what sells. And I think that you, of all people, do an excellent job of branding yourself in a way where they know who Tony Peck, the Godfather of Marketing is, you know?
But and I'll just add to that, I feel like with social media, there's a lot of people that are on there that aren't really like, their videos aren't really what they are in person,
100%.
right? And they're not getting any business from that because when you meet them in person, they're not the same.
Exactly.
Right, I feel like with the three of us, we're all like who we are, right? Like this is how you are. You're a cigar guy.
There's plenty of people that don't like us for us.
Right,
And that's
exactly.
okay. Let's get that out of the way
Oh,
now.
it took me time to learn that.
But the people that do like you, they don't just like you, they love
Exactly.
you. They're enamored
Exactly.
by you. And I think that's the uniqueness that a lot
Enamored
of
is a
people
good
realize.
word.
Because it's a reality, right? The people that follow me and like watch me, they don't like me, they love Tony Peck.
Right.
They love the guy, they love who
Right.
I am. And then the ones
Or
that
have
don't
similar
like this guy,
hobbies as
but
well,
they have
right.
hobbies, they
Yeah.
smoke cigars, they have
Yeah.
a business, they do this,
Yeah.
they go to events, they have events. Versus the people that don't like you, getting them out of the way fast. Because
Yeah.
as opposed to you pretending to be someone you're not,
Yeah.
then you eventually sit with them and meet them, and then they're like, oh, I don't like you. I
Yeah.
didn't know you were like this.
Yeah.
It creates a, it's a fugazi relationship.
And it doesn't bog down your business with leads that aren't people that you want to do business or they want to do business with you. It goes back to the conversation that we were having last week which probably not even recorded because you didn't get started. But
Speaking of which, let me make sure we're still live.
yeah, let's make sure. But honestly, you don't want to bog down all your leads, and then you're working with people that you don't want to, or they don't.
Well, they don't want to work with you.
Exactly.
It could be as simple as they don't like to be cursed. I'm
Exactly.
gonna fucking curse. So
Yeah,
let's get that right now.
Yep.
If you don't like that, fine.
Yep.
We're not the people for each other. I
Right.
don't trust people that don't curse.
Right.
So if you're not gonna curse, I'm not gonna trust
Right.
you.
Oh, that's
If
a
you
big
don't like
thing.
me with the cursing,
That's a very big thing.
we're not gonna get along. So
That's a big thing
Yeah.
for me.
that's something you can mitigate
Now-
right off
now-
on social media.
Now, let me ask you this: if you're in a business meeting somebody that's maybe not our generation,
Sure.
first meeting, right, business owner, are you cursing in that meeting?
Depends on the situation. I'm very dependent and situational.
Me too.
So it's a tough thing to answer, but I read the room, right? That really comes down
That's
to
what I was
it.
gonna say.
But the cool thing with this too, and sorry, I just want to throw this part in.
Go ahead.
With social media, and it's, I don't want to
Sorry,
say
I just don't know where to put my hand.
It's okay. I'm trying to make a move up. He's getting
I
closer and
don't
closer.
know if these guys are roasting me for my setup or like what. Like I don't like. What do you guys want?
We're
from me?
embracing it, my friend.
You want me to get like a 4,000-foot fucking studio and the whole walls and the
That'd be
ceilings?
nice.
Sick.
Next year.
Next year.
But with social media, you have an opportunity to, I don't want to say form passive relationships, but that's kind of is the only way I can terminology wise it, where you're putting out content on your stories and on your feed and all these content, all these posts. By the time someone meets you for the first time in person, they don't have to ask you what you've been up to.
Right.
They come up to you, I saw you do
I saw
this,
you do
I
this.
saw you do this.
That happens all the
that's,
time in my life.
that's it's been happening to me for so long, for so many years. I forget how ridiculous of a thing that is for that to happen to someone you don't even know.
That just happened when you got here. I was like, "Hey, bro, what's going on? You're crushing it in the gym because you're putting it up on your stories."
And I've never texted Mike that I've been in the gym.
Right.
It's because you're just
Right.
watching along.
Yeah.
And that's some powerful fucking shit for you to be able
Yeah.
to put that out there and
Exactly
people can
right.
feel a level of rapport with you. But I
Yeah.
haven't actually
See,
outbound to that.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, so here's the thing, right? To add another level of what I think, right? That's why I love doing public speaking, right? Because what you and I are basically, and you are basically arriving at right now is how do we get in front of as many people as once while maintaining a level of trust, compassion, and just so you know who we are. Right?
And they like you.
And they like you, right? But not everybody's gonna like you, but you can give your brand out to everybody through social media. That's why I got into public speaking, because it's like, how can I talk to as many people as I can at once than being on stage? And when I do public speaking, I talk about my story, which to me is something I talk about every day because that's who I am, and that's what makes me different from my competition, right? And these are the things that truly make someone stand out. And I think that it's so important for anyone getting into the business, who's been in the business, use it to your advantage, right? People that are still going to get coffees with people, I can't believe they still exist. I can think of thousands of more effective ways for me to meet you, get to know
Give me
you.
5 ways right now.
5 ways?
Yeah.
I'll go take you to play golf, we'll go get a drink. Now you might say, what's the difference between getting a drink and getting a cup of coffee? I want to see you in a different environment than a coffee shop. Now certainly coffee works, but like even if you're sober, like just going to sit in a bar type environment, that's where I prefer to do my business. Like I almost exclusively will not go get coffee with someone. Unless you're like my friend already.
You know what's ironic?
What?
The first time we met, what did we do?
But that was the old me. But no, but I'm
Sober Austin.
But
For the record.
but I'm serious though. Like that used to be who I was. Coffee shops every day. That's not effective. You know, I want to see you
It's
after
also not
hours.
unique.
Right.
That's
That's
people
it.
are taking you to coffee a lot. Like that's the norm.
Wait, I'm doing 5.
Me, I'm cigars.
Okay, cigars.
Cigars should be on
Yeah.
5.
So coffee. Drinks, golf, cigars. You know,
And
going to a
golf is fun.
sporting event.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Playing mini golf,
Yeah.
dude. You know why? I think you and I have talked about this. You know why I love to play golf with people? My number one reason.
What?
Besides being a foursome and you being able to put 3 other people with you and having other people connect and then you look like the connector and the powerful one, I love to see people struggle. Just like they like to see me struggle when I hit a bad shot. But I want to see how you react, right? I want to see what's going to happen if a client situation goes bad. I want to see how you're going to react. The same way when you're playing 4 under par and the next 4 holes you triple bogey. I want to see what your headspace is then, and that's when I want to talk to you.
Yeah, you get to see the reality of people. The reason I like it, you're sounding a little bit like a serial killer, to be fair with you. But
You think so?
I understand
I
what
wanna
you're
see how
saying.
people
I wanna see how
react.
people react.
I
You know,
like it.
the way you said it was funny. But no,
I'm just methodical.
I agree with you. You are right with that. But the reason I like it is you get to go deep with something. Not all
sure.
you have the chance. You're not gonna get coffee with someone for 4
Yeah,
hours.
right.
That's a fucking long coffee
Yeah.
meeting. That's
So-
A
ridiculous.
lot of
That
different
sounds
conversations
miserable.
are happening in 4 hours.
You're gonna get to really know the
Yeah.
person versus hey, let's just go out and talk business because that coffee's gonna be 30 minutes to an hour. We
Right.
gotta unpack a lot about business. Versus golf, you got 4 hours. We can bullshit for 3.5 and
Yeah.
talk business for 30 minutes.
See, I'm a
And
big
then
no
we build
business
a
guy.
relationship.
I'm a big no business on the golf course guy though. And even when I get drinks with people, like when I'm meeting you for the first time, I don't like to talk business.
Well, it's all about building the rapport too, right?
Yeah, but like I
Especially
hate
right
when
out
I
of the
go,
gate.
like we have people that we do business with, both of us.
Oh, yes.
We actually don't do business with them because they're frustrating, and one of the things they constantly do is talk business.
Talk
Just
business
drill it down your throat.
Yes.
And to me, I don't, there's certain people though, like for someone like Mike and I have been doing business together for years. First thing I see him, yo, why the fuck didn't you send me that guy you closed on? Not that I'm drilling him about business, and not that really happened. Mike sends me everything because I'm the best goddamn insurance agent ever. But in all seriousness, though, it's because it's a friendship deeper than business.
Correct.
But I got to be honest, when we get together, we don't. When do we really? Even
And that's
talk
what I'm saying.
business?
But if
we're
I
bullshitting.
But
Families,
if I
we're bullshitting.
was to bring up business, it wouldn't be weird because we're so deep as friends
Yeah.
that I think that business comes second in a lot of these relationships that I've been so fortunate to build. And I think that's where everybody goes wrong.
Correct. I 100% agree. That's why I live and die by my relationships.
Me too.
It has nothing to do with business.
And maybe that's why we get along so good because I think that that's a big thing for me.
Because it's not on the forefront of
Yeah,
our mind that we
like
have to
we've
do
done
it.
some things that are very not PG rated for business, but we've done them
We had a good time doing them.
What's
We got
up?
to know each other real well.
real well.
I got to hear these stories.
No.
Not for the podcast. Oh, it's so true though.
So we got to take Mike with us.
Yeah. In all seriousness, though, the reason I wanted to have you on, Tony, and Mike and I discussed it so much in detail is that you are a guy that truly lives, breathes, dies by the brand of Why Not You Media, Tony Peck, the Godfather, and the coolest part is they're not a brand anymore. This is who you are, and you live that, and that's what makes you such an effective business person and one of the most, and not only an effective business person, but a master connector, and that's why I thought you were such a great guest for our sort of, kind of, ish, half budget ass inaugural episode of the Connect CTMY Closer Conversations podcast.
Well, I appreciate that, but also because we're talking about half budget, let's talk about the next Connect CTNY event.
Yeah, Mike, I don't even know
That's
the
on
details.
pipeline here.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
mean, I can give the actual details, but if you want to give the actual,
Well, it's not confirmed yet, but we're aiming for November 16th.
But what's special about this one, Mike?
Well, this one's going to be the first one back. We're at the top of the list in terms of we're hosting it. We're giving back to all the people that have come, people like you, that have come and sponsored events and whatnot. So this one's on us.
Does that mean it's free?
It's free.
Free event!
Free
Holy
event.
shit.
Free
and
event.
you know what? You know why we're making it free, Tony? Over the last 2 years since Mike and I started Connect CTMY, I better sit back. So
It's
my
been
belly.
2 years.
It's been 2 years since we started Connect
Crazy time
CTMY.
flies.
Holy shit, that's how I met you at the one in the little pizzeria.
Cole House. We
Yeah,
were thinking about doing it back there.
That's fun. That's
I
fun.
mean, listen, at the end of the day, our next event for Connect CTMY, the rebirth, is going to be free. And the reason it's going to be free is for the last year and a half, 2 years that we've been alive, the amount of things and benefits that Mike and I have been able to reap from this is tremendous. I think, Mike, you sold a few houses from this.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of policies that I've sold with clients that have come directly from Connect
And lastly,
CTMY.
above all, though, the amount of relationships you guys have been able to make.
Yeah.
Well, I was getting
And
there.
same with you, right? Like you've
100%.
met a hand. Like I know you and Adam are like really close
Yeah,
now, right? Like I
100%.
see you guys on,
Yep.
on social all the time. So it's not just us that
But
are
it's
getting
everybody,
together.
right?
It's everyone.
And
that-
the
yeah.
other
That's
thing
what it's about.
is we said, listen, it's right around the time of Thanksgiving when we bring this back. I think we're shooting for November 16th. That to us is more important than anything. We've gone to our sponsors in the past and we've said, you give us X amount of dollars and our sponsorships are not cheap, baby. But at the end of the
What
day,
this production value is. Shame, guys.
I think it's pretty good. But at the end of the day, we really wanted to give back to people, and I think that our behind the scenes goal. I'm going to go on record and kind of tell them. When we first got started, we were on Meetup.com, and we had like 40 people that were completely random we'd never met before. And when we started getting really into this, we didn't have that same target audience. And I think that the ultimate goal and vision for us is to keep bringing like-minded individuals together, right? I know a lot of the people at this point because I spend, not just business, we spend a lot of time together personally. And I think that it's important that I can keep providing value to people like you, people like Joey, people like Roman, people of course like Mike, but we're in it together. I want to be able to provide that value to them, and the best way to do it is not only say thank you and give you a free event, but that will allow us to have more people that we've never had before show up at our event and say, wow, this is the shit. And now here's the difference, right? We had free events in the past. We were nothing then.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're a juggernaut. I see all these people, and Mike and I talked about this in our deleted episode. I see all these people in our business that are now trying to throw events. And the challenge is not throwing one event. It's
doing
throwing
it consistently.
banger after banger after banger. And that's what Mike and I have become synonymous with. And we can't wait to show everybody what Connect CTMY version 2 is about. I mean, we got new colors, new branding. We've merged my personal brand of Closer Conversations into Connect CTMY. and I'm doing with one of my closest friends, Mike Spindler here, and we're gonna take over the fucking world, baby.
Well, I'm excited for it, guys.
Yeah,
Looking forward to the
and
next
we're
one.
happy to have you aboard, man.
Of course.
We appreciate you coming on this episode.
And
Budget episode. High quality people, though. Don't forget that, guys.
yeah, I actually don't think it's that low budget, but like it's
I bust both.
the phone's $1,300. Okay, it's an iPhone 14 Pro Max.
Should we itemize everything?
Come up with a screen.
I actually think it'd be really funny. The wall, $500.
Yeah.
The TV was in my house. I think my uncle gave
Yo,
it to me
you-
6
you
years
put
ago.
up
Down
the-
maximum capacity.
Yeah.
Yo, you want to pay my rent? My rent is less than the phone.
I will say, this couch isn't bad though.
No, it's actually not bad.
I'm shocked.
What do you think? I'm gonna
Don't
keep
get
it.
up.
For the future 3-person episodes, I'm gonna keep it like this.
Yeah, I think this.
I think you guys could. This is
Yeah.
fine.
This works.
Yeah.
My neck hurts a little bit, but you
Yeah,
know,
bro,
I
I'll
have a
be
massage
brutal
in 2 weeks. So
tomorrow.
Yeah, it was funny. Like,
Shout out to Massage Therapy for all your neck and back massage needs. When you guys come on as a guest, you're gonna need her. So hit her up. Tell her to back the Godfather sent you.
Yeah.
what is their discount code?
She'll work it out with you.
Hashtag Tony Peck.
All right, Tony Pack. Let's hope this whole thing recorded and we can say goodbye. All right, I love you. Bye.
Great job, bro. Great job.
Good job, Michael. Yes, it all recorded.
Thank God.